One common mistake I notice with entrepreneurs who are trying to raise money is that the entrepreneur is too focused on the money. You're focused on the money you want to raise. But guess what investors are focused on? They're not really focused on the money. They are focused on the contract. And most times, the investor will write the contract. And I think that is it's a misplaced priority. If you're focused on the money is not the problem. The main problem is the contract. Because the contract is what will determine what will eventually happen to you, your business, and that relationship with the investor. In case you are not aware, some people have lost their businesses after they got investments from investors. How can that happen? If you're raising equity investment, one common requirement is that they want a seat on your board. They want a seat on your board of directors. And it makes sense. If I'm going to give you a lot of money, it only makes sense that I get a seat at the table where important and major decisions are being made. So it's an interesting it's an important requirement. But the other thing that it does is that depending on the amount of power that the investor gets based on the contracts that they sign with you, the investment contract that they sign with you, I'm sure you've heard of situations where the founder of the company was kicked out of the company. Now, as a founder of the company and CEO, those are two separate roles. The CEO is an operational role. Founder is an ownership role because you own equity in the business. It's also a reputational role because even if you sell your entire stakes in the company, you will always be the founder. So you founder and CEO, two separate roles. The investor may kick you out of the company of the CEO role if they believe that you are not the best person to be running that company. And it's happened a couple of times. If you remember the Uber instance, the Kalanick was kicked out of the company as a CEO, even though he remained as a shareholder in the company. So your focus should not be too much on the money. Your focus should be on the contract. Why on the contract? Because an investment contract is about three factors. And how you win or lose according to those three factors can make or mar your business. The first factor about the contract is the risk. Who bears most of the risk? Now, there are certain clauses in the contract such that if anything happens, the investor's money is secured. If anything goes wrong, at the minimum, their principal that was invested in your business is going to be secured. The investor is not going to lose much. So the investor uses the investment contract to manage their risk. The second thing that the contract is for power. Who has power in that relationship? Many entrepreneurs don't pay enough attention to the contract. And as a result, they lose out on the power equation. You end up having an investor who is very powerful in your business and can call a lot of shots. So at the end of the day, you feel and look like you're an employee in your own business, which can be a terrible feeling, right? So the first thing is risk. The contract is about risk. The contract is about power. The contract is also about money. Who gets what? In terms of how well the business performs, who gets what? So when it comes to raising money, when you meet many people, they just tell you, my business is struggling. I need to expand my business. I need $100,000 or I need $50,000. I need $10,000. The entrepreneur is focused on how much money they want to get. But like I said, raising money can either be fertilizer to your business or it can be poison, right? It can either be fertilizer or it can be poison.